Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 17 March, not November, 2022. I think it might be Green Beer Day or some other pagan holiday morphed into Christianity. Anyway, we have a knife sale tonight because it's Thursday and it's 9 o'clock. And a pretty nice bunch we've got. 30 items for your consideration, 29 of them knives, 1 watch. Before we get into the meat of the sale, let's do a little bit of housekeeping, shall we? First up, before you participate as a buyer, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale, which are accessible in a variety of ways. I'm going to put them up on the screen for you in just a moment. I'm also going to reprint them in the description of this video so you can read them at your leisure. Also in the description of this video, at the very top, you're going to see 3 links to previous videos on the channel. The first is to my Primer for Buyers video. That is a 38-minute expanded explanation of the terms of the sale. It goes into great, some might even say painful, detail about the whys and wherefores of buying a knife on this sale. The second link is to my FAQs for Consignors video. If you're interested in using this weekly sales event to move along some of your collection, that video explains how it works from the consignor's perspective. And then the third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for TheApostleP Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. So, in the description, you will find those 3 links, then the terms of the sale, and then tonight's inventory list, complete with timestamps on the left, pricing on the right. In the price column, the number to the left of the slash is your as shown price. The number to the right, as sharpened by the TheApostleP Knife Service. Wait time for a sharpened knife continues to be 3 to 4 weeks. No next day sharpening available because backlog is high. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's about all we have to say. It must be time to get the terms up on the screen, and then we'll be right back with the sale. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? Guess what? No leftovers from last week. You guys rock. I think the last knife sold Tuesday morning. So, on to the fresh stuff. First up, in my favorite box of all time, we have one of my favorite platforms of all time and one of my favorite steels of all time. Are you kidding me? Oh. This is the Spyderco Delica FFG OD green FRN handle with volcano grip and a blade constructed of DLC coated CPM CruWear. Oh, DLT exclusive. Lockup is rock solid. Action is nice and free. Centering hard to tell, but it is right down the middle. A lot of black going on. Condition is going to be like new in the box. Let's see. This DLT exclusive is out of stock. When they were new, you could buy one for $115. Those days are gone. eBay sold listings between $160 and $190 for this knife in this condition. But this one can be yours, as shown, with a pristine factory edge, $130, shipped priority mail. If you'd like my edge on it, add 20, so $150 sharpened. That is the Spyderco Delica FFG OD CruWear. Next up, Another one from Spyderco. And it's another Delica. How long has it been since you saw one of these guys in like new in box condition? It's just a Delica 4. VG10 blade, saber grind. So for those of you who like your VG10 to be a little more robust than a full flat grind, go one step back in the evolutionary chain of the Delica. Rock solid lockup. Not super free action, but could probably be freed up. It's kind of factory fresh. Centering down the middle. Condition, going to be like new in the box. They're still making these. Minimum advertised web pricing is $88 at your favorite retailer. This one can be yours for $65. Shipped priority mail, all in. $85, you'd like my edge on it. That's in your inventory as Spyderco Delica 4 and no notation. Okay, just plain old Spyderco Delica 4. Next up, we have one from the Viper Techno Cut family of knives. And it is the Viper Lilly. This one kind of special. I couldn't find this exact model in stock anywhere with the blue anodized overlays. I don't know if that was a dealer exclusive or what that was. Looks like we have a titanium spring clip, also anodized blue. Beautifully milled natural gray titanium scale set. It is a titanium frame lock and a ball bearing flipper. Nice flipping action. Big old belly on that blade. Jesper Voxness designed the Lilly. 2 9/16 inches of M390. Backed up by a 3 5/8 handle. There's your lock engagement. It's dead solid. Action is beautifully smooth. Centering is perfect. And you saw that flipping action. Nice jimping on the flipper. Beautiful. Condition on the Lilly is going to be near mint in box. And the only reason I'm not calling it like new is that if you look very closely, you can see some traces of pocket dust. So the Lilly with the natural overlays sells online for $156 to $165, but I couldn't find any of these blue ones. They appear to be out of stock. Your price on this one, $120 like it is, $145 with an Apostle P edge. That is the Viper Lilly. Next up, from Begg Knives Steelcraft division of Chinese-made Begg knives, we have a really neat mini Bodega. So check this out, guys. We have this scalloped milled center portion of the scale in bright titanium. I'm not sure how they achieved that finish, but it is, I guess it's just as machined, right? Nice ball end mill border, beautiful. And then the rest of the handle appears to be DLC coated. Even a DLC coated cracked ice clip. Of course, ceramic retention ball in the clip. And then this beautiful blade. S35VN. A beautifully finished blade before the DLC coating. Notice the difference in what was probably an acid stonewash bevel and swedge, and then a fine satin flat. See how the difference in the coating came out? Very cool. Of course, a ceramic IKBS S35VN blade, if I didn't mention it. 2 15/16 inches of blade length and a 4 1/4 inch handle. There is your steel inserted lock engagement. It is rock solid. Man, smooth and perfect centering. Condition on this one is going to be like new in box. Let's see. I believe this is the I believe this is, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure this is an earlier Rayot Steelcraft. Might be a Wii. I don't know. Very nicely made. They're discontinued. They're out of stock. When they were available, they were $445. This one can be yours for $300 like it is. $320 with an apostrophe edge. That is the Begg Steelcraft Mini Bodega. Next up, we have one from We Knife Co. Ltd. And the knife inside is the 717G Valiant with gray titanium handle with carbon fiber inlay, black stonewash satin blade, and CPM S35 VN steel. So the Valiant is kind of a stubby, I guess you'd call it. Beautiful sort of acid then tumbled titanium. Very cool milled carbon fiber. Beautifully integrated billet titanium milled clip. Steel inserted titanium frame lock. Nice flipper tab. Not too big, but if you plant your finger firmly, it won't slip off like mine just did. Flips nicely with a strong detent. So there's your satin. There's your black stonewash. Blade length on the Valiant, 2 31/32 in blade length, 4 inches a handle. A hand filler, right? Pinky just hangs out on the horn, kind of, for me. Neat blade shape for a robust little utility blade. Let's see. Lockup seems to be perfect. Centering is perfect. Flipping action. Strong detent. Fires out like a rocket. Yep. That is the 717G Valiant. We'll call it like new in the box. These are discontinued, out of stock. And the last price I saw for them was right at $200. This one, like new, unobtainium at your retailer, can be yours for $170 like it is. $190 with an apostrophe edge. That's the We 717G Valiant. Next up, another one from We Knife. This one's going to be an 820B Roxi. This one with the black titanium handle, black stonewash finished blade in Bowler M390. And this is a little cutie right here. Yep, there's your black coated frame. But look at the bronzed hardware. Very nice accents. The clip is sort of an acid bronze stonewash. Pretty cool. Then it's got this little blade. Yeah, like a deep Warncliffe. Blade steel on the Roxy is going to be M390. Blade length 2 5/8. The handle is 3 3/4. It is a ball bearing flipper. It's a steel inserted titanium frame lock. Of course, the clip is milled titanium. There's your lock engagement. It is not that early and really solid. Action, centering, perfect. Condition on the little Roxy is going to be like new in box. They're discontinued. They're out of stock when they were available. This one would have run you $242 at your favorite web retailer. It can be yours tonight. $195 like it is. $220 with an apostrophe edge. That is the We 820B Roxy. Next up. All right, this is the Save Me From Myself knife for tonight. You know, it's a GEC, Northfield unexcelled premium pocket knife. How many of these have I sold? I mean, it's one of you every week addicts. Just take a guess. How many number 19 little Rattlers have I sold? I mean, it's got to be 40 or 50. Got to be. And it's a great little fifth pocket knife. It's half of 38. Get it? Half of 38. It's got a super cool little warny blade. I've never bought one. And I've just sort of been waiting for one to strike me. Well, here it is. I just gave you a little peek. This is the Northfield with pinched and lined bolsters, Federal Shield, and snake skin acrylic. Would you look at that? Ha 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 ha. Cut swedge, nail neck, satin blade, Northfield etch. It's got a dainty pull, 5 maybe, but nice walk and talk. That I'm sure will get better. Blade, I think, is perfectly centered. Yep. Conditioning can be like new in the tube. Your price, guys, $95 like it is, $110 with an ApostleP edge. And I think I need this knife. I'm going to give you guys till 9/13 to buy this, or I'm marking it sold, paying my seller, and keeping it. The GEC Northfield, number 19, Little Rattler. Next up, I love this knife. Well, actually, I love the marketing of this knife, the nomenclature. From Great Eastern Cutlery's Northfield Unexcelled line of premium pocket knives, we got number 68, 1221. That's a 68 White Owl with the Howard the Owl button. Looks a lot like Bill. Here's the knife. And this one is in cowhide jigged bone. Pinched and lined bolsters. Bar shield with white owl stamped in the shield. Cam tangs. We got, I'm going to say, a 6.5 pull. Walk and talk is nice. It's not the smoothest cam tang action I've ever seen, but it's got good snap. Main clip, secondary pen, cigar pattern or an equal end, opposite end jack. 3 7/16 inches of closed length. Now, as usual, these opposite end knives that have no center liner are going to have a little rub, even though the blades are perfectly aligned in the handle, just from the sideways pressure of pulling them out. Other than that, it is absolutely, well, it was probably like that when it left the factory, so we're going to call it like new in the tube, rub noted. Also comes with the button. Your price on this one's going to be $150 like it is, and then $175 for me to sharpen both blades. Be clear in your I'll take it, because there are 2 White Owls. This is GEC Northfield number 68 White Owl Bone. Okay? Next up, as you might expect, is the other 68 White Owl. Same tube, same model number. This one in Sambar Stag. You got your Bill Howard the Owl button. And this knife, guys. All right, this might not be the most off-the-charts popcorny Stag I've ever seen, but it's really nice. So there is your mark side. There is your pile side. So the cosmetic match is beautiful, as is the dimensional match. I mean, this is a well-done Stag knife. So 3 7/16 inches in closed length, lined and pinched nickel silver bolsters, a cigar pattern or an equal end, opposite end jack, main clip. Pull is about 6.5 to 7. Action is not super smooth, not glass smooth, but not bad. Nice snap. Blades are well centered, but probably you're going to see the usual rub, right? Just because it's a congressing opposite end pattern, no center liner. Like new in tube, Factory blade rub noted. Your price on this one's going to be $160, $160 like it is, and $185 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge. That is the GEC Northfield number 68 White Owl Stag. Next up. Oh my, this is a pretty one. I kind of want this one. From the Tidioute cutlery line of traditional style pocket knives from GEC, we have a Scout Trapper number 73, model 735221 in African rosewood. African rosewood. Comes with the Scout Trapper button. And here is the knife. So it is a sort of swell center, curved trapper pattern, nickel silver bolsters, chamfered ends, bare end, and this is a closed end knife. So the blade tangs come all the way to the end of the liners to keep any debris from gumming up your works. Blade length on the Scout Trapper, obviously closed length, is 3 3/4 inches. Would you look at that African rosewood, by the way? It's rather stunning, I believe. Main blade is a drop point on a half stop. Pull weight, I'm going to say 7.5. Walk and talk are perfect. Same thing on the secondary spay. Both blades perfectly centered. Condition like new in the tube. And let's see. Found some sold listings on eBay for this exact knife. Doing between $150 and $223, and most of them are at or above $200. This one like new in tube condition. Beautiful mechanics. Beautiful example. $160 like it is. $160. $190 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge. That is the GEC Tidioute number 73 Scout Trapper. Next up, we have arrived at the Rob's Pick for tonight's sale. It is from Great Eastern Cutlery. It is a handcrafted Tidioute cutlery, classic pocket knife. It's a 74 Mustang. Number 745120 in brown burlap. The reason that this one is a Rob's Pick, and there's your Mustang button, is because I own the twin to this knife. It has been in numerous pocket dumps, and you guys always salivate over it. As well you should. As well you should. Beautiful shield. Going to have satin hardware, and we got just a little bit of tube rub or wax paper rub on that satin. It happens in the first 3 minutes of these knives' lives. There is your burlap micarta. So the 74 Mustang, you guys know this knife well. 3 7/8 inches of closed length. I need to adjust my screen. Pardon me for just a moment. I'm no longer turning the page, but I'm adjusting the screen. Okay. Single drop point on the Mustang, satin finished, no etch. Walk and talk are stupendous. Pull weight is about 7.5. Centering dead down the middle. Condition like new in tube. Tube rub noted, right? Let's see. I'd love to tell you what the sold listings on eBay were, but there are none. I'd love to tell you what the current listings on eBay are, but there are none. I bought mine at the Rendezvous last year. I thought it was an SFA, Special Factory Assembly knife, and it may well have been. Oh, man. But I'm not going to kill you on this one. Let's do 210 like it is. 210, then 235 with an, or 225, I'm sorry. 225 with an Apostle P edge. That is the GEC Tidioute number 74 Mustang. And if I didn't mention it, that's the Rob's Pick. Next up, from the Great Eastern Cutlery line of Great Eastern Cutlery knives, we call them Acorn knives, although this 89 fruit knife doesn't seem to possess an acorn anywhere, but that's okay. It is the number 89 stainless steel fruit knife, model 892121 in stabilized antique chestnut wood. There's a good little research project for you guys. Let's see where Bill got his stabilized antique chestnut. Oh my, look at that luscious thing, would ya? So the 89 fruit knife is 4 inches in closed length, but it's tiny in every other dimension. Got a big long spear point blade. The etch says stainless fruit knife. It's a cam tang knife, but beautiful walk and talk for a cam tang. Oh, Randy, why can't you do that all the time? Stunning. Pull weight, I'm going to call, what did I say? I guess I said 6.5. Some might call it 7. Centering, I'm going to call very close, but it looks like it might favor the right just ever so slightly. Condition is going to be like new in tube with button. And price-wise, let's see. Between 102 and 150 sold listings on eBay. Let's do $100 and then 120 with an Apostle P edge on the 89 fruit knife. Next up, we have another Tidioute offering from Great Eastern Cutlery. A model 933119er ram foot in Oily Creek bone. And guys, I've seen a lot of Oily Creek bone 93s. This might be the nicest one. Holy moly. Would you look at that? Oh, that's nice. Pull weight, I'm going to say, what did I say? 7.5. Walk and talk, beautiful. Did you see the Roadrunner at the half stop? Oh. Centering is like dead. That is a beautiful example, guys. Oh, one disclosure. There is a flea bite, meaning a tiny little rough spot just forward of my thumbnail. Hopefully one of those reflections will show. It's tiny, guys. Other than that, like new, okay? So we'll say very near mint in tube, one tiny flea bite behind the neck. These are doing between $235 and $330 completed listings on eBay. Let's do on this one $225 like it is, $245 with an Apostle P edge. That is the GEC Tidioute, easy for you to say, number 93 ram foot. Next up, you do not get a Kershaw. That is the wrong box for this knife. I teased you about this yesterday. It is the Lightning OTF drop point. What's the steel? Who knows? Something stainless. Very nicely textured. Some kind of black coated. Aluminum. Polished. Tip up. No, it's always tip down, but sort of tip up. Clip. Medium to firm button. Medium to firm. 100% reliable in my 30 or 40 opening closing cycles. Condition is going to be like new, wrong box. Your price shipped priority mail all in $25, $45 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Lightning OTF. Next up. Oh man. Yeah. This knife kind of cool, I think, guys. This is a Camillus Heat designed by Daryl Ralph in sort of one of its later incarnations. This is a Taiwan-produced knife, not a Chinese-produced knife. But instead of the the rubberized aluminum scales that they originally came with. This is an FRN. It is a spring assist knife, and the thumb studs, or the what look like thumb studs, are stop lugs that butt up tight for 3-point lockup against the ends of the frame, which are exposed in the front of the handle. Oops, and it doesn't work good if you hit it into your desk. Okay, nice spring assist action. Looks like some kind of a paint coating. Camillus Heat by D. Ralph Design. Yeah. They're calling the spring assist Robo Power. Well, look at that. It's Osage steel. Made in Taiwan. Rock solid lockup. Serrated combo Tanto. Centering is pretty doggone nice. Condition is like new, no box. I don't know that these knives are made anymore, and they're sure not made in Taiwan if they are. And we lost Daryl not so long ago, so it'd be nice to have something from his mind's eye. So this one's going to be like new, no box, discontinued, out of stock, and pretty hard to find. Your price, $30. $30, like it is. $55 with an Apostle P edge. That is the Camillus Heat Tanto. Next up, this is kind of special if you're of a certain age. Marlboro Unlimited Victorinox Swiss Champ. So the Swiss Champ built on the larger 91 millimeter frame. The red poly covers your Marlboro Unlimited stencil. So let's see. We got a main spear. We got a secondary pen. We got a file. We got, what do we got? What is that? Oh, scissors. We got pliers. We got that and that, because you can't not have those. You got a Phillips, no straight pin, toothpick tweezers. We got, what we got here? A chisel scraper, a parcel hook, and an all with sewing eye, and a split ring. Condition is like new in the box. Let's see. How about we do, I don't know, 50 like it is. 75 I sharpen both blades. That's the Victorinox Marlboro Swiss Champ. Next up, got one from Columbia River Knife and Tool. It is the 1090 Mai Tai. I love how Brian Tai does that. It's just so cool. So here's what we got, guys. We have basically a stainless steel frame lock knife with a tip down right hand only clip. Some FRN that is ingeniously molded to look a lot like carbon fiber. Just overlays for cosmetics and grip. Then we've got, running down the back, a big old torsion bar. That is your spring assist. It's very smooth and funky because it's sort of massive, you know. It's just cool. You feel the handle ring a little bit when you open it. There's your lock engagement. Got a little recurve, funky tie blade. Blade steel on the Mai Tai is Krupp's 4116 stainless steel. Lockup is rock solid. Flip, or the opening action is very nice. Looks like the centering favors the it favors the lock side just a bit. You could probably loosen the pivot. Blade length on the Mai Tai 3 9/16. Handle 4 7/16, so very efficient blade to handle. Condition on this is like new in the box. They are discontinued and out of stock. When they were available, they were $90 at your favorite web retailer. This one can be yours. Shipped priority mail, $50, and then $70 with my edge on it. That is the CRKT Mai Tai. Next up, I said we had a couple discontinued and rare Kershaws yesterday in my teaser video. But check this one out. Model 1600 BLK. So out of the sleeve slides a little tin, and then the top slides back, and inside is the knife, I promise. Let me get my stuff together here. Okay, this is so special. Let me give it a quick little wipe. You guys just talk amongst yourselves for a minute. Oh. So yeah, it's the 1600 BLK, and here's what makes it special. It's a black PVD coating of some type, but notice the handle and the blade have received a high polish before coating. Isn't that stunning? So 420 HC blade, 1 15/16 inches in length. The handle's 2 15/16 inches, stainless steel. It's a stainless steel frame lock knife. Tip will be right hand tip up or down. There is your lock engagement if you can see it. It's rock solid. Speed safe spring assist with safety. Condition is absolutely like new in box. These are discontinued and out of stock. When they were available, they were $65, brand new at your favorite retailer. This like new in box example of an out of stock discontinued knife is going to be $65 to complete your Kershaw collection. $85 you like it with my edge on it. That's the Kershaw 1600 BLK Chive. Next up, another one from Kershaw, another old box. Look at that. It was $59.95 somewhere. We are looking at a discontinued and out of stock Kershaw 1840 shut. Another one from the Onion family of onion named knives. I think this might be the biggest one, is it? Stainless steel frame lock with a smooth velvety bead blast. Speed safe spring assist. Kind of looks like a Darryl Ralph blade to me, but it's sort of a recurve muskrat clip, I guess. I think the steel is 14C28N. It is. Blade length is 3 1/4, and that's measuring back to that most forward point in the handle, so it kind of seems like a longer blade than that. 4 5/8 is the handle length. There is your stainless steel frame lock engagement. It is rock solid. Got a nice heavy spring. Centering might favor the lock side just a bit, but very close to perfect. Beautiful flipping action on the speed safe spring. Just a nice example. Condition on the shallot will be near mint to like new in box. They're discontinued. They're out of stock. That's how much they were. That price tag was pretty right. This one can be yours, though, for $45 like it is. $65 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Kershaw 1840 shallot. Next up, from Spyderco, most beautiful box in the world. Inside it, we got a pair of 2 DLC Digi. That's a good looking Digicam handle right there. You know, some of it hits you and some of this one hits me. Especially since it's mostly dark with the black blade. There is your S30V blade in black DLC. It is wearing, what? It's got an ApostleP edge, and it's hardly been used since I sharpened it, guys. It's rocking. As Uncle Ted would say, it's cocked, locked, and ready to rock. Rock solid lockup. Not the best action in the world. Wait a minute, that can't be right. No, it doesn't have rock solid. It's got a very slight bit of side play, because that was in my notes. Action's nice. Centering's very nice. There's some wear on the clip of this knife. Other than that, pretty doggone nice example. We're going to say condition is, we'll say, excellent to near mint in box. Your price, $120 with my edge. No need to sharpen. that's in your inventory is Spyderco Pertinent Digi DLC TAP. Next up, all right, I hope you guys are sitting down. We got an older Benchmade box, and inside it is a 755 MPR mini pocket rocket prototype. Less than 50 of these produced. Old Toad Sticker loved this knife. I mean, loved this knife. He owned it. Or not this very one, but one like it. So on the show side, forest green G10. One little mill mark just for a faux bolster kind of a look. To match the bolster lock side on the lock side. So it's basically a titanium frame lock that's been relieved to accept a G10 scale. And it does kind of protect the lock bar when you're opening it. Not that it needs to on this knife. I'll get into that in a minute. So the prototypes and the very first production runs of the MPR had this milled titanium clip, and a lot of people felt like you could not get it in and out of your pocket. So they, at some point in the production run, flipped to a really ugly stamped steel clip. So as a collectible, I think this prototype with the original clip is going to be more valuable than that. Blade steel on the mini pocket rocket is M390, 3 inches in blade length, 4 1/4 in handle. There is the lock engagement on your titanium frame lock, and notice it's got that sort of Shirogorov step in the lock bar. Lockup is super nice. You can actually muscle a little lock slip in it if you try. And there is like virtually no detent. The ball is there, the hole is there, but I got a feeling if a guy wanted to, he could go in there and increase the lock bar tension and maybe solve both of those problems a little bit. Action's beautiful, as is the centering. Condition's going to be very near mint in box. Of course, these are out of stock and discontinued. So the pricing I found on eBay for production versions, not prototypes, were between $250 and $275. This one, prototype, nearly unused, $225 like it is, $250 if you want an Apostle P edge on it. But I'd probably buy this as a safe queen if I were you, because it is a prototype. That is the Benchmade 755 MPR prototype. Next up, one of the most sought after discontinued ZT knives in existence today. It's a real beast. It is the Ernest Emerson designed 0620 CF Tanto in carbon fiber. The knife is a stunner. There is your milled carbon fiber. There is your business side. Beautiful stonewashed titanium frame lock with steel insert. Black hardware, black clip. You can wave it on your pocket. You can flick it with your thumb. A beautiful stonewashed and satin blade in M390. 3 9/16 inches of blade, 4 7/8 inches of handle. Beautiful lock engagement, and it's rock solid. And guys, it's hard to convey the smoothness of this phosphor bronze washer knife, but it's always attracted me to the 620 and the 630. Centering's perfect. The knife is like new in the box. Discontinued and out of stock everywhere. eBay completed listings, and I'm not talking about 2 or 3. There might be 10 or 12. Your price range for these, if you want to buy one on the open market, between $312 and $485. Look it up. This one is a bargain at $300 even, and then $330 if you would like my edge on that Tanto blade. That's the ZT 0620 CF. Next up, another zero tolerance knife. This one is the ZT0303, the Strider Onion Project, the 300 series knives. So the 303 comes with milled G10 scale over a thin titanium liner. Other side, the lock side, is DLC coated titanium with that beautiful 3D machining. Raised boss for the pocket clip. It's going to be a 4-way positionable clip. Hinder or lock bar stabilizer on a knife designed by Mick Strider and Ken Onion. Cool. It is going to have lug lockup like a Strider would have. And it's going to have speed safe like an early ZT would have. And it's going to have an organic Ken Onion shaped blade. This one in S30V, Tiger Stripe DLC. Lockup is rock solid. They all are. There's your lock engagement. Centering's perfect. Flipping action's just fine on the spring. Condition on this knife, by the way, 5 inches of handle, 3.5 inches of blade. Condition is like new in the box. Discontinued and out of stock for a long time. eBay prices are consistent. Only 2 recently sold ones. One sold for $400 and one sold for $416. Probably not any nicer than this one, which can be yours. Shipped priority mail for $350, like it is, $375, with an TheApostleP edge. That's a zero tolerance ZT0303. Next up, one of my personal favorite ZTs of all time. This is a ZT0550. So it's sort of the, I don't know, the red-headed stepchild of the Hinderer ZTs. Milled G10 show side. Bead blasted titanium lock side. Hinderer lock bar stabilizer. Old four-way positionable butter knife Kershaw style clip. That is on washers, boys. Yep. Smooth as glass, rock solid lockup. There's your engagement. There's your perfect centering. Blade steel is going to be S35VN. Blade length is 3 3/8. Handles 4.5. That knife means bidnet. Yes, it does. Condition is like new in the box. It is long discontinued, not a stock. These are they have a wide range. Sold listings on eBay between $180 and $359. And there was a lot of them over $300. I'm not sure what's up with that. Your price on this one, $190 like it is. $210 with an TheApostleP edge. That's the ZT0550. Next up, this is a knife that's always caused me some consternation. I thought it was should have been a Kershaw. It is a real beast though, because it is from Zero Tolerance. And this is like the entry-level ZT Hinderer, the 566. So it looks a lot like the 550, just like 80%, 85% of its size, except instead of titanium, this is a stainless steel frame lock, thus no insert. A little bit of honest wear on that clip. Some plain and light to medium textured black G10 on the show side. Kershaw Speed Safe on the ZT. This is an LMAX steel, stone-washed. It has been used and sharpened, and it, frankly, guys, isn't super sharp right now. Lockup is rock solid. There's your engagement. Centering's beautiful. Speed safe action. Great. A lot of guys tried to de-assist these, and I don't know why. So we'll say the condition on this one is excellent to near mint, in box, used and sharpened. Discontinued knife. The last available pricing I saw was $130. This one can be yours for $99. like it is 124 for me to sharpen it. That's the ZT0566. Next up, I told you yesterday that I had a cool Medford to sell. How many times have you ever heard me say these two words together? Cool Medford. It is. Kind of their new style packaging, made in USA. The model is the Michael Jackson Smooth Criminal Blade Steel S45. I'm not sure what that means. Tumbled standard finish. Handle, green anodized aluminum. Spring, which should be the other side, right? Green anodized aluminum. Flame anodized titanium hardware. And a standard Medford clip. This one was sold through Smoky Mountain Knife Works originally. And I think it was sold for $340 to my consignor. There's the knife. Look at that beautiful green. Look at that beautiful flame ano. Button lock ball bearing flipper. What? It is 3 inches of S45 VN. Tumble polished, you might say. Rock solid lockup. Free swing and ball bearing action. Perfect centering. Nice integral to the backspacer lanyard loop. You know, the flipping action, I'm not going to say is like super satisfying, but it's very reliable and easy to execute. Kind of makes a thunk when it opens instead of a clack, which kind of, I don't know. I kind of like it. Very cool Medford. So let's see. They are out of stock at $340. Can't find one nowhere. It's like new in the box. Your price $290, like it is. $315 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge. That's the Medford Smooth Criminal. Next up. Okay, this was heavily featured in my teaser video yesterday. This is from Ball Watch Company. For those of you who don't know, Webster C. Ball was a jeweler in the Cleveland area, and there was a huge train wreck in, what was it, Kifton, Ohio or something? And the railroad and the United States government got together and they decided they had to start keeping better time because it was a watch malfunction that caused the collision. So Webb C. Ball started him a watch company and became the official railroad standard. Over the intervening century or so, the company has changed hands. It's no longer in Ohio. Very international ownership, but Swiss-made watches. This one is running an ETA 2830-something, whatever the day-date one is on the lower end of the echelon. Not a 2890 series. But it is chronometer spec. You've got sort of a deep violet dial, and it's a matte finish. And the model is the Space Master. I need to scroll again. The Space Master, sometimes referred to as the X-Lume watch. 43 millimeters in diameter, best I can measure with these big crown guards. You have to almost go to the bezel. Lug width is 21. Lug to lug is 52, but they're nicely downturned. And then the thickness is about 15. There are, I believe, 84 tritium vials. Every minute marker has tritium. The Arabics have like 4 or 5 or 6 in each one of those. There are tritium tubes at 11, 1, of course, your midnight pip, 5 and 7, and then there is some super luminova on the bezel. It's kind of weird in the lume department because when you come out of bright light into dark, the super luminova is going to dominate the tritium. And then when you wake up at 4 in the morning and look at your watch, the 84 tritium tubes are going to be blaring in your face, and the super luminova will be gone. So you got a stainless steel bezel insert with some raised areas at 11, 1, 5, and 7. Bezel action is firm, 120 click. And I don't remember about the lineup. Let me look. Well, I read that as very close between the pip and the 12 o'clock index. Very cool handset, very reflective and light catching. Very neat crown system. You've got a little latch. You push in on that tiny little button, which releases a ball detent, and you can peel it away. Then it's just a normal screw-down crown. The strap is natural rubber factory. I'm guessing this watch is probably 5 or 6 years old. It's been worn lovingly, but it does have some wear. I'm going to call its condition excellent, no box. It is running about minus 10 to 15 seconds per day. So even though it is a chronometer spec movement, could probably use a service. This watch was purchased new by my consignor for a tick over $3,000. It can be yours, shipped priority mail, for $1,200. Okay, and what's the water resistance? I forgot to look. Looks like 333 meters of water resist, which would make sense. So $1,200 shipped priority mail on the Ball Spacemaster X-Lume watch. Next up, we have a Spyderco. It is a Delica. And this is a special Delica because it's the thin red line model. So check it out, guys. Black FRN, but the backspacer is red, and the inside of the FRN is red, which is pretty cool. Then you've got a Delica FFG, combo spider edge, VG10 blade, rock solid lockup, nice free action, very nice blade centering. It is wearing a Casey Lynch black titanium deep carry clip. Originals in the box. Condition near mint to like new in the box. Web price on these was $95. This one can be yours for $75 with the Lynch clip as well as the factory clip. $95 if you like my edge on it. That's in your inventory of Spyderco Delica FFG thin red line. Next up, from Benchmade Knife Company, Oregon City, Oregon. We have a 565-1 Mini Super Freak. Why super? Well, here's why. Carbon fiber. Red hard anodized aluminum standoffs and thumb studs. Blade steel S90V. Now this is wearing what used to be an ApostleP Edge. So when this knife was nearly brand new, I sharpened this for this consignor. And it's got some wear. A little raggedy down here at the base of the edge. And then it's very hard to see. But there's a tiny chip about 1/8 of an inch behind the tip. Not that it won't still cut, but I'm not going to say it's a TAP represented sale because it's been a while since TAP sharpened it, right? Blade length 2 15/16. Handle is 4 inches. It is, of course, an axis lock. Action is perfect. Lockup is perfect. Centering is close. Condition, we will say, excellent to near mint in box. These knives are still available for purchase brand new for $279 at your favorite retailer. Or just buy this one. How about $195 like it is? $220 with a fresh ApostleP Edge. That is the Benchmade 565-1 Mini Super Freak. That, my friends, brings us to the last knife in the sale. Purchased by yours truly at the 2021 Great Eastern Cutlery Rendezvous. It is a special factory assembly knife or a parts knife to the GECOGs. So, a previously manufactured knife. There were some parts laying around. Bill and the gang threw them together in interesting ways, and this one is very interesting. Model number is 620320. It is a pocket carver, triple Wharncliffe Whittler with a button. All right, check it out, boys. It is a catch bit Whittler. For those of you who don't know what that is, look it up. So basically, it is a 2-spring, 3-blade Whittler with a catch bit instead of a center tapered wedge. Look, there's your show side. Ready? Here's your main Wharncliffe. One of your secondary Wharncliffes. Your other secondary Wharncliffe. That's your show side, and get ready. That's your pile side. Yeah, see how the blade's going the other way? Look, see? How can this be, Rob? How can this be? Well, because Bill made 10 of the 62 pocket carvers. Tidioute trim with polished line bolsters, double square end bar shield, and triple satin blades. Oh, man. Yeah, they were made in 20, but we didn't have a Rendezvous in 20, remember? The covers are goldenrod camel bone. And yeah, this is my personal knife. I just have to say, I'm not a big fan of catch bit Whittlers, and I'm not a big fan of Congress patterns, which the handle shape is, right? They're very cool, though. This knife is very cool. When's the last time you saw a double shield GEC knife? You have now. 1 of 10. Your price? $220. And it is like noon tube, never carried, never sharpened. $255 if you'd like me to sharpen both blades. That's the GEC Tidioute number 62 pocket carver SFA 1 of 10. That, my friends, brings us to the end of another knife sale on the Apostle P channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I surely did. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Now have at her, boys.